midnight. I'll get the date right eventually. So, in case you didn't see the first podcast, or whatever you want to call this, we talk about sports, hot topics that are going on right now, and we give our opinions on everything and our takes, and I give you a game to watch in the process. Usually NBA 2K. Today I'll be doing a fantasy draft, and hopefully just using this as a series for pretty much every time we do a GamerTake. So, I am Night Mamba 23, as you see up in the right hand corner, and internet gave out, so the broadcast is over.
The internet gave out?
Yeah. Well, it says I'm still on the air. Let me find out. In case I am. It'd be really weird if I'm not, or if I am, I'm still talking. Okay, well, it says I'm on the air, so
That's really weird.
we're gonna go ahead and roll with it. Okay, well, it says I'm on the air, so. Oh, wow, it's right on. Cool. Alright, so we're gonna take a fantasy draft. And I will be the Lakers, try to rebuild a struggling franchise. I don't know what pick I'm going to get. I got the first pick. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so we're going to start out with a story that I heard today. Listen, Colin Cowherd. He's really just an inspiration for me, and I've learned a lot just listening to him. Jerry Jones, as you know, has been inducted into the Hall of Fame, class of 2017. I personally have never liked Jerry Jones that much, because he owns the Cowboys, and who likes the Cowboys, you know?
I do.
Well, you like Ezekiel Elliott, there's a difference.
That's true.
Yeah. However, I heard a story today. Former Cowboys assistant coach Anthony Lynn is now the head coach for the San Diego Chargers. You probably haven't heard much about him, right?
No, I've never really heard of him.
Okay. Neither have I until today. He was assistant coaching for the Cowboys, and one night he got into a really bad car accident. Like, life-threatening. He really should have died. Yeah. And you know, just as an assistant coach, naturally the owner shouldn't care too much, right? I mean, it's one of your staff members or whatever, but he woke up at 5 o'clock a.m. the next day after the accident, and Jerry Jones was sitting next to him holding his hand. And apparently Jerry had been holding his hand the whole night. Now, not only did I grow an enormous amount of respect for Jerry after hearing this story, but the list went on and on. As later on in the show, you know Michael Irvin, right? One of the greatest receivers of all time, arguably the greatest Cowboys receiver of all time. Well, Michael Irvin was playing against the Eagles as a member of the Cowboys, obviously, and he broke his neck on the field. And they were in Philly, and if you know sports, you know that the craziest crowd for any sport, no matter what, is in Philadelphia. Well, he woke up, and Jerry was sitting there. Jerry rode in the ambulance with Michael to the hospital, and he sat there with him during the game. He stopped worrying about the game. Jerry Jones, congratulations on being in the Hall of Fame. Overdue, probably. Everything he's done for the sport, for the Cowboys. Amazing man. Amazing story altogether. That's all I have to say about Jerry. You have anything to say about the man?
He's building a dynasty.
I mean, he's built one. The Cowboys.
He's rebuilding it now.
Yeah. The Cowboys are probably the most recognizable franchise in sports. And that's mostly because of Jerry Jones. She's done amazing things for them, and well, I do hope the Cowboys fall off the map. Congratulations to Jerry and everything that he's accomplished. Okay, so on to the actual discussions. The Hall of Fame ceremony is Saturday night in Canton or Ohio, or wherever it is. I don't really care because not a whole lot of Lions in there, so whatever. But
that just proves the Lions have never really had a good team.
Clearly. Now there's a lot of inductees. Jerry Jones, Jason Taylor's in. LaDainian Tomlinson probably being the biggest name. People forget how dominating he was. All of these names are more than deserving. And there's a glaring name who missed, and for the second straight year. I don't think it's fair to T.O. or to the Hall of Fame to not have Terrell Owens in the Hall of Fame. I think it gives the NFL a bad look. You know, he was a bad teammate, or his off-the-field antics were crazy, or yada yada. Whatever, man. Isn't the Hall of Fame supposed to be what you do on the field?
Yeah, that's true, but I mean, a lot of people can see it as... I didn't really pay attention to Terrell Owens that much, just because I wasn't a big fan of him, so I don't know that much about him. All I know was he had ridiculous touchdown celebrations, blah, blah, blah.
Okay. Third all-time receiving yards. Number 3 all-time receiving yards. Number 2 all-time receiving touchdowns. Now, what other sport can you be top 5 in 2 of the most significant things for your position, stats for your position, and not be in the Hall of Fame? I mean, Michael Jordan... Michael did some ridiculous things in his career. He left the sport of basketball. He had a really petty Hall of Fame speech. But he's still in, and he's considered the GOAT. And
that's because he pretty much changed basketball, though.
That he did. And sorry, drawing blanks for a second. O.J. Simpson. We don't know what he did, whether or not he murdered somebody. He was proven not guilty, so we're going to say he didn't murder somebody. But he went to prison nevertheless, did he not? For years. He just now got out. Shouldn't. I don't know. Yeah. It's not really my opinion. My opinion doesn't really matter in this particular instance. But what I'm saying is, if O.J. Simpson can be in the Hall of Fame, and LaDainian Tomlinson, who was great for his position and great for the sport, and people forget how good he was too, what's keeping T.O. out? Next year, Randy Moss becomes eligible for the Hall of Fame. Very rarely do 2 receivers make it in the same year. So this brings up the question, T.O. or Moss? Who's getting in? And it's Terrell's third time around. It's T.O.'s third time around.
You can already tell it's. You can already know it's gonna be Moss.
Now, with virtually the same legacy, I don't see how that's fair.
I don't see how it's fair either. I mean, Randy Moss.
He did the same things. He had the same attitude off the field.
He kind of played for a worse team, though. Because back then the Vikings weren't good when Randy Moss was in his prime.
He had some pretty good quarterbacks to work with, though.
So did T.O.
Yeah, kinda. Would Tony Romo even be a possible future Hall of Famer if he hadn't had T.O.? Probably not. I don't think Romo would have lasted very long without T.O.
Or McNabb.
Yeah, McNabb probably wouldn't have either. Realistically, Donovan McNabb is a great quarterback and Hall of Fame worthy. But could we be saying that if he hadn't had Terrell Owens to throw the ball to? Or
I mean, maybe. I mean, it's not just one receiver out there. I mean, he had Brian Westbrook.
yeah, the most injury-prone running back in NFL history. Yeah, but he was great. I really wish his career hadn't been hurt. All I'm saying is Terrell should be in the Hall of Fame this year. He's probably not going to get it next year because of Randy Moss. The year after that, who knows? Will T.O. ever be in the Hall of Fame?
That's too. I don't know, man. That's a tough one to decide.
Okay. We're gonna transition here to basketball, which is my favorite sport. It's easiest for me to talk about. Kyrie Irving, as I'm sure you know, and anybody who's listening knows, Kyrie wants out of Cleveland. He wants to get away from LeBron because he wants to be his own superstar. He wants to just be the guy. Kyrie's also recently come out and said, I'm not going to commit long-term to whoever you trade me to. This makes things extremely awkward for the Cavaliers, because now they have to either live with the player that doesn't want to be there anymore, or trade him to a team knowing you're not going to get much because nobody's going to trade for him if he's not going to commit.
Where do you think Kyrie would fit best?
Minnesota. The young core with, if Minnesota gave up, that leaves him, Jimmy Butler, Karl Anthony Towns, and a couple of other pretty good role players that they can really build around. I think that puts Minnesota into Western Conference potential winners, up there with the Warriors and Rockets.
Think so?
Yeah. I mean, you got to consider how good Jimmy Butler truly is.
Yeah, that's true. Can't believe he left my team, though. It just makes me mad.
It's
I can't believe the Bulls let him go. That just...
Yeah, it's all the Bulls' fault. I don't know. I think they're in complete rebuild mode. What is going on right now?
Yeah, because they got rid of Rondo, too, didn't they?
Yeah. They sure did. But Rondo was a weird personality to have around. He didn't do much last year. Anyways, Kyrie, it looks like the best trade option for the Cavaliers to make. It looks like Phoenix is offering Eric Bledsoe, who's probably an all-star in the Eastern Conference. Not Dario Saric. Some kid that they just drafted last year. He's got a lot of potential, I guess. I don't know much about him because I don't follow the Suns. And they're like a first-round draft pick or something. That's offering a lot. I don't know that the Cavaliers get a better offer than that. But then the issue becomes Kyrie leaves, you don't get much in return. LeBron's probably out next year.
Right. How do you think LeBron would react if Kyrie did leave?
At this point, I heard sources say that Kyrie and LeBron aren't on speaking terms. Kyrie won't call the Cavaliers, he won't text them, he won't even talk to them at all. And he won't talk to LeBron. I don't think LeBron wants anything to do with him. Stephen A. Smith over at ESPN said that his sources have told him that if LeBron was to see Kyrie right now, he would be tempted to kick his butt. Didn't say butt, but we're going to go with butt.
So Kyrie's pretty much doing a Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook type deal.
Kyrie's doing it much dirtier because Kevin Durant spent years telling the Thunder that he didn't like Westbrook. Kyrie waited. He has 3 years left on his deal. I don't see why he'd want to leave. They've been to 3 straight finals. I wouldn't want to play with LeBron.
It could be because, like, he's doing more than LeBron, but LeBron's getting all this attention. That'd make me mad too.
Maybe scoring-wise in the clutch, you got to figure LeBron averaged a triple-double in the finals again. That's insane. And I don't know. I think there's a lot of drama that comes with playing with LeBron, and maybe Kyrie's just done with it. And then there's the theory Kobe was his favorite player growing up, like mine. He just wants to be like his role model, his mentor. He wants to lead a team on his own like Kobe and do his own thing. It's possible LeBron and the Cavaliers are just being far too emotional about this. Yeah, Kyrie's...
How ironic would it be if Kyrie did leave and the next year if he went to, like, Memphis, if they swept the Cavaliers?
I didn't even think about that fit. Memphis could give up Mike Conley for him. I don't know how the money works out in that situation because Conley makes a lot of it.
Right.
Wow, it'd be crazy. However, Memphis doesn't have anybody to guard that guy LeBron. He's pretty good, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah, but if that's the case, is it just gonna be LeBron scoring 85 points by himself against them every single time?
Probably not 85. I wouldn't imagine.
Well,
probably 40 plus.
If no one's guarding him,
yeah, which was the issue with the Warriors before Kevin got to town. Nobody could stop him. And even with Kevin around, nobody could stop him. Here's the question. Even if you're not getting... Say you have star potential, okay? And everything's going great in your life because you're going to the finals every year and you get to play with LeBron James. Arguably the greatest player of all time. Not in my opinion. It's just an arguable fact. You're not getting the limelight, but you're winning championships. Do you take it, or do you go start your own franchise, start your own dynasty, and better luck to LeBron wherever? Shoot. I'll put it into football for you.
I want to go someplace else just because if I'm doing this just as much work as the star player, but I'm not getting much attention, that's gonna bug me.
Yeah.
I'm sounding like a attention seeker here, but in sports, that's like 90% of what you do it for is attention. So you can get the bigger contracts, the more money.
Yeah, the shoe contracts, the Gatorade endorsements, everything, the clothes, everything that LeBron's got, Kyrie wants. So
I think if he went somewhere else, else, I think he can have all that.
But what if he doesn't? What if he leaves and he can't do it alone? We're gonna look back on this and realize, wow, Kyrie messed this up. Why didn't he just stay put?
I mean, I guess that's the price you pay. It's 50-50.
Yeah.
Who knows, Kyrie can either go to Phoenix or Memphis and bust, or he could stay in Cleveland, wait till LeBron leaves, and then try to carry Cavaliers by himself.
Well, that's an interesting theory. What if the Cavs are like, wait a minute, we want Kyrie to be our future. LeBron could leave us at any time, so they trade LeBron away. I think that's more likely, given that LeBron's rumored to be going to the Lakers this summer anyways. Next summer, rather.
That's stupid.
He would just... It's a younger team, Lonzo Ball, all that good stuff.
They're not gonna, why would you bring LeBron James when you just probably one of the biggest playmakers, so say?
Yeah, I don't see why. I don't understand it personally, because you want Lonzo to feel like he is the face of your franchise, and all LeBron does is come in and make guys take smaller roles. Dwayne Wade, Kevin Love, Chris Bosh, Kyrie Irving now. So I think LeBron going to LA ruins Lonzo's career, personally. Okay.
I guess if you're LeBron, if you can't beat the Warriors, you might as well join them.
He's not. They can't afford him. It'd be funny though, wouldn't it?
That would be... Alright, let's put it this way. If LeBron went, if Kevin Durant left, LeBron went to Golden State, do they have a chance to break the best record in the NBA history?
Nah, not regular season. LeBron would sit out half the season just worried about the finals. It would tarnish LeBron's legacy though, but that's never gonna happen. I don't think he has any interest whatsoever. Okay.
If you were supposedly wouldn't you want to play with an up and coming star like Steph Curry?
Steph's beyond up and coming. He's two-time MVP, two-time Finals champion.
Well, could that be why LeBron's talking about going to the Lakers?
To beat Steph, or
to join Lonzo and have an up and coming star with one of the GOATs of now.
I think to go to the Lakers means you get to live in Hollywood, which he has a house out there, and you get the nice weather, and girls are always in bikinis, and the stars are always in attendance, and there's the 17 championships that the Lakers have. So there's a lot of glamour to coming to LA. I think being with Lonzo is just kind of an extra piece. Oh, what a crappy shot.
It's crazy. I guess we'll see next year what happens.
I hope he leaves Cleveland. I don't like the city of Cleveland or the state of Ohio. Why do I keep doing that? Oh crap, catch up. Yeah, if he leaves Cleveland again, his legacy's probably ruined. I don't see him coming back from that again.
How shocked would you be if LeBron wins the championship this year and just hangs it up?
Well, I think he's on record saying that he wants to play with his son, who has like 7 or 8 more years before he gets in the league.
Oh yeah, that's if he skips college. Unless he skips college.
Yeah, if he just wins another title and hangs it up, I wouldn't blame him. He's the most scrutinized player in the history of sports. Not even close. everybody has an opinion. Everybody either loves him or hates him. There's no in between people who can live with him or without him. Everybody loves him or hates him. So I wouldn't blame him. Okay. Since I went way off topic with that one.
That's always how it goes, though.
Yeah.
Always find out stuff to talk about.
Usually how it works out. Andrew Luck. Here's a topic close to your heart, eh? So, Luck is on record saying he'll be ready for opening week. Apparently, the Colts have also said that they want him ready, but some Colts officials are saying they don't know if he'll be ready for a few weeks into the regular season. Here's what I ask you. If you're the Colts GM, going into the season, you have a young quarterback behind him, and not a franchise quarterback, obviously not going to steal a spot. I think the Colts have forced his comeback more than once, and they've risked his career in the process. If you're the Colts ownership right now, do you push the issue a little more, or do you end it? I mean, do you bring him back early again, or do you let him rest, make sure he's 100% this time, take no risks, and stop putting his career at risk?
Well, the Colts GMs came out and said that he's 100%. Andrew Luck's on. He feels Andrew Luck is 100%. Which, I mean, he's trying to rebuild the team. I mean, he's doing a dang good job of it so far. So I mean, if he has any doubt in Andrew Luck not being ready, he's not going to start him.
He has before, though. Last year, Luck wasn't fully healthy, and they started him, and he got hurt again.
It wasn't the GM. The Colts got a new GM.
Yeah. So hopefully, I think we mostly agree on this part. Hopefully the Colts play it smart if they have to.
I don't even know who their backup is. I'll pay attention to their backups.
I forgot his name. I used to back up Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, Matt Flynn?
No. He was third string that year. The Lions beat him like 44-3 one Thanksgiving. Can't remember his name right now. It's not that important, obviously. He's not that good. Anyways. So, Andrew Luck has potential. I mean, when it comes to the NFL, you see a quarterback like Andrew Luck once every 20 years coming out of college, maybe 30. You know, the last one, ironically, was Peyton Manning. And legend. He wasn't as great as Luck was at first, though. You know, he struggled a lot more than Luck did at first. It would just be a shame to see the Colts force an issue with him, possibly cutting his career short, because it could take a 15, 20-year career, cut it to 5 just by... If he gets hurt again, their offensive line isn't great. He's going to get hit. He's a big guy. He just traveled. But it's going to get hit. And that's going to happen.
He forces a lot of the hits on himself, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is what really bugs me about Andrew Luck.
There's a lot of stuff that bugs me about Andrew Luck.
Because for the first 2 seasons, he didn't slide when he was about to get hit. He took the hits.
Yeah, he didn't know how to slide. Don't know if you knew that or not.
Yeah.
He'd never been taught, which is Harbaugh's fault, but...
Typical.
Oh, shut up. I hope the best for Andrew Luck. I want to see him, Matthew Stafford, Jameis Winston. I want to see these guys carrying the next generation of quarterbacks and be the face of the league.
Way out of that
I don't want to get into this stat battle with you. Matthew Stafford's the youngest quarterback in history to have the stats that he has, but he doesn't have an NFC championship appearance or a playoff win.
He also had Calvin Johnson, though.
Yeah, that's a good argument. He had Calvin, who was hurt a lot.
But he can't win a playoff game.
That's true. It's very frustrating. It's true. We'll see this year. Hopefully they finish over 500. Tough schedule. But the point is, I hope these young men carry the NFL, and I hope they can all do their thing. Staying on the topic of the NFL and quarterbacks, we talked about Aaron Rodgers, possibly the greatest quarterback in the game right now. Definitely the most talented man I've ever watched play the game. He's a bad man. He can do a lot of things that we've never seen before, and will likely never see again.
Like bombing Hail Marys down and just somehow getting lucky every single time.
It almost becomes not luck anymore then, doesn't it? I don't like Aaron Rodgers. I'm a Lions fan.
Pretty much. That play against Dallas where he threw that ball on the sideline.
Yeah.
You can't teach that. You can't teach that.
No, I don't even think he knows what he's doing half the time. But Aaron came out and said he wants to play till he's 40. And he said he wants to do it as a Packer because there's something about those guys like Kobe and Jeter and Tim Duncan, you know, those names that you hear and they feel about these men. I think that might have been an indirect shot at LeBron, by the way.
Step it back here. Step back here. I'm gonna step back here. If LeBron would have never left Cleveland and would have went to the Miami Heat, would he have the championships rings he has today?
No, LeBron wouldn't have a single championship ring if he stayed in Cleveland.
That's what's crazy. He leaves. That's really what kind of makes me not like LeBron. Is he leaves Cleveland just because he can't win championships, wins some championships in Miami, then Cleveland gets it good again, and then he's like, oh well, you know, I'm just gonna come back to Cleveland, and you know, goes to 4 straight and wins 1, or 3 straight and wins 1.
Yeah, 7 straight altogether. I don't think he's personally talking about leaving again. I think the talk is about him leaving again. He hasn't said anything about it yet, but the rumor has it he's going to LA next year. But I see what you're saying. It is very frustrating, and that's why I don't like LeBron.
Like, look at Brady. Brady didn't do that. Manning didn't do that. I mean, he left because his contract ran out. But I mean, he didn't leave the Colts because he wanted to win championships.
No, he left because of his neck. I mean, the Colts didn't want him anymore, pretty much. He was a used-up toy. Yeah. Well, even.
I think with that, if his neck wasn't bad, they would have kept him. They would have re-signed him.
Absolutely. He would have had a few more years with him.
Honestly, I actually don't think they would have, because Andrew Luck was going to be their guy, because Jim Irsay is like really good friends with either Stanford's head coach or Stanford's dean or whatever for their college, whatever the top guy is for the college. I don't know. And he was really good friends, and he wanted Andrew Luck as soon as Andrew Luck came out of high school.
Yeah. I think maybe if Luck wasn't in the draft that year, then Peyton would have had a few more years with Indy. It was a pretty quarterback-heavy draft.
It's really what I find ironic. Like, this is how ironic this is to me. The year Peyton Manning gets a neck injury is Andrew Luck's senior year.
Illuminati.
And then, yeah, like, it makes me like, like this is what goes on in my brain. It makes me wonder if they were like, all right, Peyton, you're in your last year contract. Let's sit you out, get you ready for, you know. I'm sure they already had talks with Denver. They just kept it on the quiet.
Absolutely. Professional sports are, I'm going to go ahead and say 80% fixed when it's not coming down to the games. Even the games sometimes I would like to say are fixed. I don't have proof for any of this. But,
like, it seriously makes me wonder if they were like, yeah, we're going to have a terrible season just so we can get #1 and get luck and then send you off to Denver. Like, that's what makes me, like, frustrated, is because we'll never know if that's true or not. Like, I'm sure, I'm positive Peyton Manning had a neck injury, but I don't know if it was severe as, you know, missing an entire season.
Especially considering what he came and did in Denver in his first and second year.
Exactly. Like, that's what bugs me. Like, they could have been like, the doctors could have been like, oh, you're going to miss, you know, 3 to 6 weeks. And you know, Jim Irsay and Chuck Pagano were just like, oh, you know, let's just take you out the rest of the season and get you ready for Denver.
Andrew Luck had what, 3 playoff wins in his first 2 years, maybe 2.
Yeah, he went to the wild card and then the divisional and then to the AFC Championship.
Yeah. So let's put it like this: had Peyton stayed in Indy with Reggie Wayne still there, and with T.Y. Hilton as a rookie, let's just admit that Peyton would have made T.Y. special.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Andrew Luck made him special, but I mean, nothing near as what Peyton would have made him.
You're subbing out 2 or 3 playoff wins for probably a Super Bowl, or at least Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that, but from, you know, owner's perspective, that's who they're building their team around, and I think they got a pretty good team. I mean, I don't know if they're Super Bowl ready yet.
Minus their defense.
They definitely are playoff contenders.
Gosh dang it. Okay, so back to the original topic of all this. Aaron Rodgers said he wants to play till 40. Do you think that Aaron Rodgers' play style permits him playing till 40? Do you think he's going to make it that far?
I mean, I really hope he doesn't end up like Brett Favre. Because Brett Favre's the last 5 years pretty much ruined his career. I mean, he's still Hall of Famer, but his last 5 years pretty much just ruined it.
That's a really good comparison, actually. Their play styles are a lot alike. Both wildly entertaining. Brett had a much better arm.
Maybe in his prime. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is 34 and still slinging the ball 70 yards for the Hail Mary.
Yeah, I mean, he's great. Brett Favre is probably the greatest arm in football history as far as cannon goes. But yeah, they're both so wildly entertaining, and just pretty much improv plays that weren't drawn up the way that they made them out to be. My answer for this question is no. I don't think Aaron Rodgers' game translates to a 40-year-old guy. Because look at Tom Brady. Where does Tom Brady spend most of the plays?
Pocket.
Exactly. Where will Aaron Rodgers not stay to save his life?
In the pocket.
Yeah. He doesn't have an old man's game. He's not as weird as Cam Newton with his game, but he doesn't have an old man's game. I'm playing my game. Aaron Rodgers, rather, is gonna play to 37 maybe, get really banged up, and if he keeps trying, it's gonna hurt his legacy and his career. So no.
I don't know. I think not this upcoming season, but next year it's gonna be weird because Roethlisberger's talking about being done because of the CTE stuff.
You hear Ben got hurt at practice yesterday?
Yeah. And then Aaron Rodgers may not have a lot left in him. Brady's probably going to be done because he's Because most likely he's going to win. I think if he wins the 6th championship, he's got the all-time record. Because he's tied right now with, who's he tied with?
Joe, I think.
Who?
No. Is it Joe?
I don't know. I know he's tied with somebody.
Bradshaw won. I did not do that. Terry Bradshaw won 4. Montana won 4 or 5, I think.
I think it might be Montana. But I think if he wins the 6th, he's done. Because I don't know. I mean, and like you said, if Aaron Rodgers plays till 37, if you're the Packers, do you draft a quarterback this upcoming draft or after he retires?
Well, actually, that's a really interesting look at it. Because rumor is that there are 3 franchise quarterbacks in this draft. 3. Most drafts have half a franchise quarterback to maybe 1 sometimes.
And one of the kids, I'm sure 90% of the people have never even heard of.
That Wyoming kid.
Yeah, Josh Allen.
Yeah, he's gonna be like Carson Wentz. He's gonna be pretty good.
I mean, frankly, he played his first full year last year.
What is up with Kevin Durant? Yeah, I think the Packers, if that, maybe it's time, maybe it's time to not draft in the 1st round, but 2nd round quarterback, maybe let him learn from Aaron. Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Famer. He could retire tomorrow and be in the Hall of Fame. I didn't know that was Dwayne Wade. We're gonna go next year. Needs to be a 2nd rounder, or they can take the Kansas City approach. Jimmy G. They're high on Jimmy Garoppolo. Here's what I think. I think
do you stick with Garoppolo, though?
I do, personally. Ooh. I think the Lakers should. Gosh, again, I think the Patriots should let this year play out with Tom, and then pretty much Brett Favre him. Be like, hey man, we appreciate everything that you've done for us, but you're out of your prime. It's over. We appreciate everything. There's a young cat behind you. We're gonna release you and let you do whatever you want for the last few years if you want to keep playing.
Just the thing, though, he's not out of his prime though. He can still bomb the ball. He can still win championships. He can still go 14-2, 15-1.
Well, you make your decision then. Do you want to? What is going on?
I don't know.
Do you want to sacrifice a franchise possibility like Jimmy G? Like Jimmy Garoppolo is special. I watched him a lot.
I don't know. That's just a hard decision to make. Talk about football and you got me wanting to play Madden now.
If I'm the Patriots, guys with Tom maybe this year or next, and I pass the reins because that could be best for Belichick's legacy too. Say they get rid of Tom and they stay as dominant as they've been for the last 15 years. Then it proves that Tom Brady's maybe one of the greatest of all time, but if he can win without him.
That's gonna be. Who besides the Patriots? Do you think the Falcons have a chance to come back and try to beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl?
Really interesting question because I think about it quite a bit. I personally don't think the Falcons are going to repeat their amazing season because that whole division is just an every other year division. I think this year it's going to be the Buccaneers for that division. I think it's their time, and they got the franchise quarterback and a really great receiving core with Deshaun Jackson and Vincent Jackson. Maybe Vincent Jackson. And Michael, no, not Michael. I can't think of the other guy's name, but he's really good. He went to Texas A&M. It's an obvious name. Can't think of it. Yeah, Mike Evans. There we go. I was right about the mic.
They wanna be like Mike. That was stupid.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to agree with me.
So yeah, I think Tampa takes that division, and
I don't know. I think
Carolina's going to be good again. New Orleans is going to be tough. I just don't see the Falcons being the same team.
this is something not a lot of anybody's really talked about. How many more years do you think Breeze has got?
There's actually something that I did hear also on the herd. It's done. You know, Roethlisberger's almost done. Brady's almost done. A few other franchise quarterbacks. Eli Manning's almost done. Phillip Rivers. So this draft that I was just talking about, there's 3 quarterbacks in there. Do the Saints say it's time? You know, do the Chargers say Rivers had his chance? Do the Steelers say better safe than sorry?
It's so hard to determine of these, because with all the quarterbacks leaving or supposedly leaving, could this open the door for Colin Kaepernick?
I'm actually not going to talk about Cap much. I feel like Kaepernick becomes more of a political issue than he is a sports issue.
This is sports, not like, say, like how Roethlisberger got hurt. If he's done for the season, do you go with Cap? I mean, he's, you know.
No.
You don't think so?
No. I think you let Landry Jones be your quarterback. Landry Jones has proven to be pretty good. Not franchise level, but pretty good. And then you draft one next year. I don't think Colin Kaepernick's a starting quarterback in the NFL. And I don't think you should have a backup quarterback who's more newsworthy than your starter. So, that being said, politics aside, because I agree with what he was doing last year, unlike a lot of people.
How do you agree with that?
We'll have to talk about that in person.
No, we can talk about it now.
There's some injustice towards black people.
I mean, I can see where he's coming from, but
I think he could have done it in a different way.
His argument is like stupid. He wants to, you know, he's trying to do that for, you know, whatever, but yet he's, in all, kind of disrespecting the flag and disrespecting, you know, America by not, you know, and I'm not judging anybody who does that. I mean, that's their choice, but to do it to risk your football career, which I don't think he knew was going to happen.
He should have. He's a smart kid. Should have figured that out.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, I'm not judging him. I mean, I like Kaepernick. He did a lot of great things for the 49ers, but it was stupid. It was a stupid decision. I bet he regrets it every day now. He may say he doesn't, but I'm sure he does.
Yeah, I actually want to get the point across that I don't condone kneeling for the flag. I wouldn't do it. It's the point he was trying to get across.
Yeah.
I think the point needed to be made, and I think he made his point, and then I think he made a complete idiot out of himself by coming out in public. He says he wants change. Colin wants there to be change, but Colin's not willing. He literally came out and said he doesn't vote because he feels like it's stupid. Colin, as Americans, we're given the ability to make a change. He had the ability, he had the opportunity, and he passed up on it. So he completely contradicted his whole argument.
Like how many kids do you think looked up to him, and then after they saw him do that, you know, they either still followed him or was like, no, I'm not starting that. How many fans do you think he lost because of that?
A lot. He lost respect from a whole lot of people.
I mean, obviously he lost enough respect from the 49ers that it got him cut.
He actually opted out of his contract from 49ers, but
did he?
Yeah, and he would have made a lot of money, like $24 million or something. He's an idiot because now he can't get a contract. Like, he was making starters money if he stayed for one more year. Even if he's not gonna play, whatever.
It's just, you know, I don't know. I think if Kaepernick wouldn't have done that and he would have opted out of his contract, where's he at now?
He's a backup somewhere for sure. He's not as newsworthy as he is right now. Maybe even Cleveland. Maybe he's the Browns' new guy, or maybe Houston would have taken a shot on him before drafting Deshaun Watson. There's a whole lot of maybes there. He messed up. I think there's other ways to make your point. But the point that he made, I think it got across. Because there's a lot of people who don't have social media and didn't see the wrong that was being done. And now I think it's more public. While I do want to say, as I said, I do agree with his point that the police brutality was getting kind of out of hand in many occasions.
Oh my goodness gracious.
I'm on police officers' side 99% of the time.
The thing about that is,
do what you're told, I know. Do what you're told, be respectful.
The media did that. A lot of it, yeah, it probably was, but a lot of the stuff you didn't see on the people's videos. You just saw the police trying to arrest the dude, or, you know, trying to, you know, basically beating him up to try to get, you know, him up in custody. But a lot of it you didn't see because of the video. And the news wanted you to play the video on what they wanted you to see.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a lot of people don't understand. They just see that and go, oh, you know, oh, the cops are bad, and it's like, you know, that's not the... Cops risk their lives every single day.
Absolutely. I'm, like I said, 99% of the time I'm on cops' side.
And after all this, how many cops lost their lives just driving in a car or walking down a street or something, or trying to, you know, save someone? How many cops lost their lives because of that? You know, and you didn't hear any of that over the media.
Well, you did, but it wasn't as big of an uproar.
Exactly, and that's what bugs me.
We're gonna go ahead and scrap this conversation because the political reasons that we got into all this is exactly what I was trying to avoid with Kaepernick talk.
Yeah, and I'm getting a little pissed off now.
I don't blame you. I don't know, man. Everybody's lives matter. Blue lives too.
And it sucks because I've always wanted to become a cop, but, you know, it's
Same
to
here.
the point where my mom doesn't want me to be a cop because, you know, she's scared.
I personally don't want to be a cop anymore.
I mean, I still want to be a cop, but I don't want to, you know, I got a family, you know, I got a family to think of.
Alright, so, we're going back to Tom Brady. He's
I'm so mad. I had something on my mind that I was gonna say that was a really good question, but I started talking again and I completely spaced it, and now it's bugging me, and I really want to figure out what it was.
If it comes back, just go ahead and ask it.
Alright. It was something about nope, never mind. I lost it again. Ah.
Okay, Tom Brady. There's a historic proof behind quarterbacks hitting the age of 40 and falling off the map. It's called the cliff, the 40-year-old cliff. Tom Brady being the quarterback that he's been for the last 3 or 4 years, even just in the last Super Bowl we just watched, and seeing the shape that he's in right now. Do you think Tom Brady's in danger of the 40-year-old cliff? Historically speaking, everybody has been.
I don't know. I mean, the way Tom Brady was last year, I mean, I just think it's another number to him, and he's not gonna matter. I mean, he doesn't get hit very often. I mean, he gets hit maybe an average of maybe 5-6 times a game.
And even when he gets hit, it's never a clean hit. It's just a little.
Yeah, it's a little love tap or something, but I don't know. It's I don't know. I don't like the Patriots. I hate the Patriots with a borderline passion. But I can't hate somebody who's dominated the sport and dominated another so-called, or another greatest of all time in Peyton Manning. I mean, yeah, Peyton Manning won his fair share, but to, beat him multiple times, back to back to back or something like that, is just, it's hard to say.
I think what I said about Aaron Rodgers, the old man game, Aaron doesn't have it. However, that number 12 in New England, the Tom Brady guy that everybody keeps talking about, I think he has an old man's game. I think he has a game that could last however long Tom Brady wants it to last. Obviously, come a time where his heart can't take it anymore. I think we have 3 or 4 more years of Tom Brady at an elite level, though. Holy cow. Yeah, that's my take on that. Dang.
That's a bummer.
What, 3 more years of Brady?
No, I just had a, gosh, that sucks. I'm playing the Redskins right now in my New York Giants season. And I just gave up a 100-yard pick 6.
Oof.
Yeah, that was rough.
Okay, next topic is a fun one. Certainly. McGregor. Conor McGregor. What a loser. Conor McGregor posted an Instagram photo or Twitter photo or whatever of him and his sparring partner, and the sparring partner was on the ground. Ooh. And it looked like McGregor had knocked him down because he was taunting him, like McGregor does. And the sparring partner had a clapback on Twitter, saying things along the lines of, "That's not what happened, tell the truth." And his plane had just landed, like less than 24 hours before that picture was taken. And apparently, what happened there was they were sparring and they got tied up. And Conor pushed him to the ground, and they just happened to get a picture right at the right time to make it look like Conor knocked him out. What really happened in this training session, the guy that he's sparring with, I can't pronounce his name, that's why I'm not saying it, but he's an old retired boxer, just like the guy that Conor McGregor's about to fight, Floyd Mayweather. What had really happened was he was beating Conor up and down the ring. and they were just waiting for Conor to do one thing to make himself look better. And he did the one thing, they took the pictures, and the guy quit being Conor's sparring partner. He quit his job, and he was getting paid good money for it. And it's because of how dirty they did him in that picture, making him look soft.
I don't know how I feel about that, because I know Conor just wants attention. I know Conor, is doing all this stuff just for money. But I don't know how familiar you are with, sparring is basically you and your opponent, basically go at it, not full speed or not full strength.
Yeah, I'm aware. Familiar.
So him saying he was beating up Conor, I'm sure he was, just because boxing is a lot more different than MMA training. But I'm sure, he was getting his licks in and stuff. I'm sure he was catching, McGregor, because, what boxer's not gonna, what boxer isn't gonna be able to hit you?
True.
So, I mean, I'm sure Conor just got mad that, he was tied up and he couldn't, take it to the ground or, anything. And I'm sure he, just got one of those shoves on him and he fell over. But the picture, that all could have been planned out too. It's just the dude probably didn't like how they worded it or whatever. They could have been like, oh, let's just do that as a joke, blah, blah, blah. And it could have may as well been, Conor was like, alright, take the picture after I push this, mother effer down.
Conor McGregor.
That's true.
Yeah, I think the real story here is that Conor McGregor was more than likely, because UFC and Conor's trainers won't share the actual videos like the guy asked him to, Conor was getting beat up. And that's what it comes down to. Conor was getting beat up by an old retired man. And this is not good for Conor, because he's about to go into the ring with the pound for pound greatest boxer of all time. I know you think that Conor has a chance in this fight, and I want him to Conor McGregor. But I think there's no chance in hell. I think this is going to be the most lopsided fight we've ever seen.
This is my problem with all this. Everyone's just like, oh, Floyd Mayweather. They just hear that name, they're like, yep, that's complete domination.
No, I don't think it's gonna. I think if Floyd were to fight Pacquiao again, it'd be a different story. I think Pacquiao would win again, or win this time around.
Conor McGregor is nasty. I mean, Conor McGregor is no,
he's no scrub.
Conor McGregor, he's gonna go out and he's gonna fight. He ain't gonna, lollygag. He's gonna, I mean, look what he did to Jose Aldo. Look what he did to Eddie Alvarez. Look what he did to a freaking wrestler when Conor McGregor has no wrestling game in Chad Mendes. He kept Mendes on his feet and annihilated him. He annihilated all three of them. He didn't, punch hard or anything. He just had that speed, and he just caught him on the butt. And if he doesn't have to throw haymakers to Mayweather. He can tag him, with 2-3 good shots in a row, and Mayweather's down.
I don't think he's gonna get 2 hits in a row on Mayweather all night. I think Mayweather's too quick, too fast, too savvy, and he runs away too much, which is what it's gonna come down to.
McGregor's just as fast. McGregor's
maybe in the UFC ring, maybe in the octagon.
I mean, it's gonna be no difference. I mean, McGregor throws hands. He doesn't, he doesn't need his feet to, knock you out.
I agree. I know that. I don't know. I can't wait for the fight. I hope McGregor wins. I wouldn't bet on him. I'm hoping for a good fight. I just
To me, it just bugs me how nobody is giving McGregor a chance. It's like everybody has a chance in every single fight.
oh, absolutely. He's got the old fighter's chance. The any man with two fists can beat anybody. That's what it comes down to.
Look at Todd Frazier when he beat Mike Tyson. Pretty sure that's who it was.
I don't think it was Todd.
It was somebody. It was like a nobody. He came in and just annihilated Mike Tyson.
Uh-huh.
Like annihilated him.
Lost his ear too.
No, that wasn't him.
I know. Hey, let's hope for a good fight.
Like you never know. Mayweather could come in this, going, I got this. He's all he is a trash talker, and he could make one mistake, and McGregor's gonna see that, and McGregor's gonna eat him alive.
I think Floyd's taking the fight very seriously.
The one thing I want to see though is McGregor start getting pissed off and throw a roundhouse and just knock Mayweather out with a heel to the temple.
Yeah, he'd lose, obviously. He'd lose the fight because of that, but that'd be hilarious.
That'd make my night.
Because then we'd finally get to see Floyd Mayweather get knocked out.
It'd be hilarious.
Yeah. Okay. On to our last topic. Something
you got
fun.
Me irritated now.
That's kind of the point. Get under your skin a little bit. I knew that topic would do it.
I don't know if that's a really smart idea right now.
It'll be alright. On to our last topic. We're gonna share an opinion-based question for both of us. Top 5 quarterbacks of all time from 5 down. And I'm gonna let you go first.
From what?
Starting at 5.
5?
We're gonna do one at a time, like you'll go, I go, you'll go, I go.
Greatest quarterbacks of all time. 5 would have to be Terry Bradshaw.
Oh, that's a nice one. My 5th would be Ben Roethlisberger.
I'll go old school Steeler, you go new school Steeler.
Yeah, both great quarterbacks in their own rights. I don't think Terry'd be this successful in today's NFL, though. All right, number 4.
Roger Staubach.
Absolutely, great pick. I'm taking Brett Favre.
Oh man, my number 3. My number 3 is Joe Namath.
Namath.
Oh yeah.
I'm taking a Joe as well, but not the same one. Give me Joe Montana.
That's a good one.
Son of a gun. Number 2. You have a real heart-based opinion to make here.
No. If we could, I don't know.
Actually, my number 3 is not Joe Montana. My number 3 is Peyton Manning. I'm sorry.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just hard because there's so many quarterbacks, but there's not enough space in the top 5, and they all should,
Absolutely, and that's why this is just opinion-based. Obviously, we're not putting any stats or anything on the line here. Just, in our opinion, the 5 greatest of all time.
Oh man. My number 2 is Peyton Manning.
All right, that's a heck of a pick. And then I think we share our number 1. My number 2 is Joe Montana. I meant to put him at number 2, and I put him at 3. I mixed him up. Who's your GOAT?
Oh man, I don't.
My mind's telling me no.
I don't want to say it because, you know.
I don't think any Colts fan wants to admit this.
It's so hard. Like, oh my gosh.
What a stupid move.
It's, I don't want to say it. I'm gonna surprise you on this one. You think I was going Brady, but I'm really going Bart Starr.
Bart Starr, what a quarterback. Heck of a player. Absolutely.
Dude, I had the suspense going so hard.
I don't agree with you in the slightest bit. I don't even think Bart Starr's top 10 personally. But he is a heck of a quarterback and third greatest Packers quarterback of all time.
I don't know.
I think the greatest quarterback of all time is hands down Tom Brady. I don't think there's much question.
That's the thing. People say Tom Brady just because of Super Bowl rings.
I think winning matters. I think it should at all times, and that's just how that's why Kobe's better than LeBron right now. That's why Michael's better than Kobe, unfortunately.
See, I don't go by Super Bowl rings. I go by how your career went, how, you know, how good of a teammate you were, how good, you know, your stats were. I don't go by. I can't choose just because of, you know, Super Bowls. Like, yeah, championships are like, you know, the number one thing everybody looks at.
So if you're not just going by rings, then we'll see what you say here. Emmitt Smith or LaDainian Tomlinson?
LT, definitely LT all the freaking way. LT played for a way worse team.
And
I wouldn't say way worse.
Great weather.
Emmitt Smith always had a top 5 offensive line. LT did not, but he still found a way. LT broke, I'm pretty sure, every single Chargers rushing record.
We're gonna go ahead and add something on that was not on our topic list. We're gonna go top 3 running backs. Again, opinion based.
Opinion based. You go first.
All right, my number 3 is Walter Payton. Oh, you know what? Screw it. We're both 96, 97 babies. We're going to go top 3 running backs that we've watched.
Ooh, that we've watched.
Yeah, 'cause I never watched Walter Payton. I've heard and I've seen him do spectacular things in highlights, but I've never watched him, so.
Alright, who you got as number 3?
Okay, so my number 3 in running backs that I've actually seen play. I'm gonna give you the option here. Are we going strictly NFL, or are we gonna venture to college?
Well,
just all together running backs.
Just all together running backs.
Okay, the number 3 greatest running back I ever watched was Reggie Bush at USC. Probably the greatest college football player of all time. Excuse the train. It's gonna be loud for a few minutes. Yeah. Alright, Reggie Bush is my number 3.
Edgerrin James.
Ooh, EG. Or EJ, I mean EG. He's a freak.
I had to go. He
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. My number 2 will go to Marshawn Lynch.
That's a good one. My number 2, going with the bus.
Oh, Jerome Bettis. I never really got to watch him. I was too young. However, I'm aware of the amazing things that he did, just like Walter Payton. Alright, and my best running back that I ever got to watch, there's only one option here for me, and that's Adrian Peterson. The things that AP did in his younger days, it's uncanny.
I gotta go with LT. That's who I grew up watching. That's who I pretty much. That's about the reason why I got into football. I was never really into football. Like, I watched it and I liked it, but I never really. LT was my favorite player of all time. He's still my favorite player of all time.
Mm-hmm.
The first NFL jersey I got was an LT jersey, so I gotta go with LT.
But Damian Tomlinson's the greatest running back you ever got to watch.
In my opinion, yes.
Awesome.
I mean, yeah, there's so many that there are. There's freaking Joseph the Guy, Adrian Peterson, Marshawn Lynch.
Okay, we're gonna do this last one really fast because I only have 30 seconds left in my game. Top 3 receivers that you've ever got to watch. List them all off in a row. Go.
Top 3 receivers?
Yeah.
We're gonna go Randy Moss. We're gonna go a little bit of Donald Driver. And we're gonna go a little bit of Marvin Harrison.
3 good choices. Give me Randy Moss, T.O., and Kelvin Johnson. Kelvin obviously did things that I will never see again from any receiver. I'm a little biased, I guess. Kelvin's my guy, though. Alrighty. This episode of GamerTake seemed to take a lot of time out, and it went off track a lot, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have anything to say about any of our topics, please leave it in the comments. If you have any topics you want to hear us talk about, text me, because you probably know you, or leave it in the comments. Thank you for everything. Goodbye. Later.